You and I are going to break down the fabric of communication right here. I'm going to teach you a powerful technique and insight that'll drastically improve your communication, but not only that, it'll improve your relationships. There's oftentimes a breakdown in the way we talk to one another or simply the way we understand each other. Why is communication breaking down? One, we could just say is the art of communicating. Some people just aren't very good at communicating, right? They don't understand how to kind of package the conversation. But oftentimes what's actually taking place is something much bigger than that. It is you are reacting versus responding in communication. And that's what you and I are going to talk about. Let's first define what those are. So reacting is when you essentially react to a situation. When someone says something to you, you don't really process it. It hits your ego essentially and you react back to them. Now, why is that dangerous in communication? Just think of it as this is coming with velocity. We might look at this as like arrows being shot back and forth at each other, right? One person sends a reaction, I'm upset with you, they sling over their arrow, the other person slings one back, well, you know what, then fuck you, and you're just sending back these arrows back and forth to each other, and you're not really making progress in that. I would even encourage you to watch debates and actually watch a debate and kind of notice the nuances of when someone is actually debating somebody else or when one or both people are choosing to argue versus debate. There's a big difference. And so it's similar in communication. Are you responding? Looks like I'm going to hear what you say. I'm going to listen to maybe what you feel about it. I'm going to ask myself, why do you feel this way? And then I will respond to you with an empathetic, like heart-centered energy. Not this like brain ego type energy. Reacting is force. Responding is slower. So why is this taking place so often? One is we don't talk about this, right? There's not a lot of conversation around communication, interestingly enough. But the other thing that's taking place is you have to ask the question, why are people reacting in conversation, in communication, or in relationship? Like what causes that velocity? If you don't take the time to look at what's causing something, you're not actually getting to the root or the core of the problem. And that's what's taking place in relationships. We're looking for all these solutions outside of ourselves without really addressing what's beneath the surface. And oftentimes what I've found in the last 2 decades doing this type of work is what's below the surface is a lot of trauma and a lot of stories that people exist in. When you have certain narratives or certain stories, you create your own reality. Like what I view as reality is completely different than the way you view it, which leads us to making sure that you're aware of the reality that you're choosing to exist in. And as life evolves, it's important to consistently and often upgrade our software system, the way we view the world, therefore our reality. And so when we get a healthier reality, right, you become healthier as a person, mentally, emotionally, physically, then you actually have less reactions, less velocity, which causes you to react less, which improves the quality of your communication because you now find yourself responding to situations, which in turn gets better results because you and the other person are actually hearing each other, you're feeling one another, and you're making the appropriate response to get a better result. You always want to make sure you're taking the time to clean up your reality so you exist with a healthy mind, a healthy frame. You do the deep inner work to make sure that you're not stuck on stories of the past. Oftentimes what's taking place is you have a distorted reality from a previous experience that took place in your life, and it's causing a distorted reality today. As an example, maybe you experienced something in your past that led you to believe that deep down you have to be perfect. Well, one is that's gonna be challenging for you in your life, right? It's very hard to be perfect. The only thing I know that can really do that is a robot, and you and I ain't robots, we're humans. And then what also takes place is in relationship is you project that to the other person. So now you expect others around you to also be perfect. Then what's taking place in communication is when someone says something to you, maybe they're actually just asking something of you, or they're making a statement, and it feels like it's a threat to you being perfect, you react versus respond because we have an unhealthy reality in that certain paradigm of our life. And so you react with velocity. Well, you know what? I'm doing the best I can, and da-da-da-da. You sling your arrows over there. Rather, if you just slow down a second and say, okay, is this mine or this is the others? What are they actually saying? What are they feeling in this moment? And maybe they feel scared. Maybe they feel threatened about something. Maybe they feel like they need to be perfect. Then you slow down a little bit and you remind each other that there's no blueprint. There's no playbook to life. That we're just figuring this out together. And I'm gonna make mistakes, you're gonna make mistakes, but if we can allow one another to be human, we're gonna get a lot further than if we expect one another to be perfect. And in that situation, you take a moment, you pause, you respond in your communication. It'll be one of the best things that you could ever do for your relationships, as you transition from reacting and move into this responding type of energy. And you're not going to be perfect, so you're going to make mistakes and you'll react sometimes, and that's okay. Just learn to forgive yourself, ask for forgiveness from the other person, take responsibility where you need to take responsibility, and then you respond to situations. That will make you a master at communication, and it will improve your relationships drastically. It's taken me a lot to go down this road to understand what I just shared with you today. And I made this video for you absolutely free. So if you could do me a simple favor, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it truly means a lot. It goes a long way. Until next time, peace.